Hi, this is Andy Armacost, UND's president. Thanks for tuning in for this bi-weekly message. And as you know, I typically talk about one or two things that are on my mind. Today, what is primarily on my mind is the COVID pandemic. And I wanted to make sure that you were tracking all the things that are happening across the state and also here in Grand Forks and on campus. And what we've seen across the state and locally is not a good picture. The levels of positivity of our testing is higher than it's been in a long time. And the trend is upward in terms of our cases. And if you look back to what happened in the summer, we had great systems in place that we still have in place currently. And the number of cases peaked at 330. And then we were able, through testing, through quarantining and isolation, and through good health practices, we were quickly able to drive that number down. And what we're currently seeing is a number of cases in roughly the 100 to 120 range. And so this number has been creeping up steadily over the last 10 days to 2 weeks. And just know that the resources we have available on campus are sufficient and more than adequate to handle this number of cases. We've hired a significant number of contact tracers. We have a significant number of hotel rooms available for quarantine and isolation. And so I think we're well positioned to handle this increase in cases. However, what I would like to see is us turn the corner. And that just doesn't require the identification of close contacts and positive cases, but it requires the actions that we need each of you to take to prevent the infections from spreading. And so these are the age-old habits that I've always talked about: washing your hands, wearing a face mask, keeping your distance from others, and avoiding large groups, and by all means taking advantage of testing. And I have ample evidence that it's happening well on campus and not well off campus. And so I've been very pleased to see people wearing their face coverings as I walk about campus and as I drive on University Avenue. That's great news. But I need you. We all need you to make sure that you're doing those same things off campus in your private lives, in social settings, and so forth. And I know that it's hard. I know it's hard to be the one person who's wearing a mask, but trust me on this. When you start wearing masks, others will follow. This is what happens when you're a good leader. You take these steps. And I have seen pictures and videos from events that have happened off campus that cause me great concern. People recklessly gathering in tight spaces, in large numbers, in close proximity to each other without face coverings. I've seen this happen on a number of occasions. And what I need you to do is make sure that you take the steps to avoid having that happen. And furthermore, the response from some have been, well, there's no city ordinance that prevents me from doing this, or it's off campus and the rules on campus don't apply. That's one way to look at the world. The other way to look at the world is your moral responsibility to keep others safe. And I ask you, when you're in those situations, take the very simple steps of keeping your distance and putting a face covering on. There's a higher purpose here. The public safety of all is what you should be marching towards, not whether or not there's an ordinance that tells you what you should be doing. So please, keep yourself safe. Take the actions you need to make sure that you keep others safe. Wear your mask, wash your hands, keep a distance, and avoid large gatherings. It's simple. Let's do those right things.